15 minutes past 11. Good morning, Malaysia. It's Health on Traxx on Midday Buzz with me, Otto, keeping you to company up till 3 p.m. today. Now, we have a special topic today. As we know, certain untoward incidents happened, like the Trhough Heights situation. So the topic for today is healing through the flames. And today we're joined by Ms. Cynthia Shobha Anthony Thanaraj, a certified therapist, psychology and counseling lecturer at the Faculty of Psychology and Social Sciences, University of Cyberjaya. So thank you so much for coming to the studio, Ms. Shobha. Yeah.
Good morning, Otto.
Good morning.
My pleasure. It's my pleasure to be here.
So if you want to join the conversation, we are currently live on TikTok as well as on Facebook. It's TRAXXfm OFFICIAL. Should you have any questions, leave a comment in the comment section, like the program, as well as leave a comment and share it with your friends, for it might be very useful. And anyway, Miss Cynthia, you've been a therapist for more than 10 years. So how did that happen?
Okay. I started off with my degree in management, majored in quality management, and I worked 4 years in the human resource. So during my 4 years in corporate human resource, I dealt with a lot of people. So my interest became more towards working with people, dealing with people, compared to documentations.
Now, seeing that you are here in the studio, I would like to also ask with regards to the Trhough Heights, you were not directly involved, but people within your faculty were involved in it. So what was their reaction towards that situation?
Providing support, basically psychosocial support. Yes.
And with regards to this as well, we're talking about crisis counseling. So what is crisis counseling?
Okay, if we were to look at crisis counseling, it's a short-term, immediate intervention, basically aimed at helping individuals cope with a sudden, intense event that overwhelms them. So during this time, people's coping mechanism goes down and people are in shock mostly. So when crisis counseling comes in, basically the goal is to restore the individual's emotional equilibrium and also to reduce the impact of the crisis for the person and support them so that they can return back to their normal level of functioning.
That's great. Now, how does the immediate response in crisis counseling help actually prevent long-term psychological effects?
It helps to stabilize the individual emotionally and psychologically. So this prevents them from developing long-term mental health issues such as PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, and anxiety also.
Now, this happens also to war, veterans as well.
Yes.
So is there any difference between war veterans and also the situation happening in Trhough Heights? Is it similar in a way if that were to happen?
If they're experiencing PTSD, it's similar.
It's similar.
Yeah, because they go through the same thing. I mean, the after effect of it. If there was no help provided at that moment, psychological help, emotional help, then the trauma builds in. So when the trauma builds in, for example, if they were to hear any loud sounds or anything,
it will trigger.
Yes, it will trigger and they will have flashes back.
And have you seen this situation happen before?
Yes, I have seen in clients which I have seen who have PTSD.
Oh my goodness. So anything could trigger. If it's a blast from the past, definitely they will remember it. Anything could trigger it.
Yes, the most important thing is it needs to be processed. So the feelings, the emotional, the trauma needs to be processed, need to be worked through.
Now, what are the typical stages of crisis intervention?
Okay, we have a few stages. The first thing is you need to build rapport and safety with the client. So that's very important because when we're doing crisis counseling, we don't go in and we don't bombard the client with questions. Okay, the basic theoretical model that we can use is PCT, person-centered therapy. Okay, it's to provide a safe space, it's to hold a safe space for the client and also allow the client to speak. Okay, next is we need to assess the crisis and the person's need. What does the person need the most? Okay, there is no time to go in, do any intervention. It doesn't work because the person is not in the proper frame of mind. The person is traumatized and also emotionally not stable. So if you go in, any intervention will not work, which is why PCT is the best, again, person-centered therapy. To identify what support system the person has is the next thing what you can do. Okay, support system is very important when a person is going through trauma. Okay, just imagine that you have just gone through a trauma such as the gas pipeline blast in Trhough Heights. You lost your home, you lost everything, your jewels, your money, everything, your certificates all burnt. You don't have anyone. What's going to happen to you? How are you going to move forward? Okay, your relatives are all overseas, so that will be another impact for the person. So support system is very important, especially going through these kind of crisis, any form of crisis, I would say. Okay, then you need to explore what is the coping strategy for the person. Each individual different coping strategy. Okay, some may cope through doing meditation, through exercise. Some may just cope by listening to music, drawing. Okay, so different person, different coping strategy. As long as the activity helps them to calm down and to relax, that helps. But the most important thing is it should not be dysfunctional for their body. Okay, so for example, some of them said, clubbing helps me calm down.
Is there such cases? Oh my goodness.
But then long term run, what does it do to your body? So it needs to be something which is positive.
I see.
Okay, and also the final stage will be there needs to be a plan. Okay, a plan on how the person is going to move forward. Okay, how are you going to help the person to go forward? That means baby steps. What can be done? What is the first thing that they need the most? If we are looking back at the Putra Heights victims, what is the first thing that they need most? They need a place to stay. They need transportation. They need to go back to work. How are they going to do that if the basic necessity, transportation, food, and a place to stay is not there?
Now, with regards to today's topic, if you have any questions for our guest here today, we're talking to Ms. Cynthia Shoba Anthony Thanaraj, a certified therapist, psychology and also counseling lecturer from Faculty of Psychology and Social Sciences, University of Cyberjaya. Leave your comment in the comment section of Facebook, also on TikTok. We are live over there at TRAXXfm OFFICIAL. A quick shout out to Cynthia, Christina Chin. We also have Briman, and also, let's see, who do we have? JMS, thank you, says good morning. So once again, if you have any questions, we are also live on TikTok and Facebook, or just give me a call at 03-2282-5491 or 03-2282-4746. Now, before we go for a break, one more question, Ms. Cynthia. What are the two techniques commonly used in crisis counseling?
During crisis, you can't do anything much, like I mentioned earlier. The best thing you can do is active listening. Lend your ear, and that can do miracles and wonders. And also the next thing will be grounding technique. Grounding technique will be something like relaxation, deep breathing, bring the person back to the reality basically, so that they are grounded and they are able to process their emotions bit by bit.
I think this situation involves, let's say, for example, I've been through a couple of minor accidents in my lifetime, but it's not me. I've witnessed it.
Okay.
And I've been through some trauma situations with the victims. So the first thing that I do is obviously take the picture first, because that could be a help towards identifying how did things happen for the police report. Second of all, like what you said, I think it should be person-centered therapy. So the questions that I ask is, are you okay? That's the first thing that goes on through my mind. Of course, the setting would be safer. Is my approach legal in sense of therapy? Should I ask the first question, which is are you okay? Second question probably could be, do you need anything?
Okay. As a public, as a common person, you cannot conduct any therapy there. So what you can do, some tips basically. First, you take the picture, okay, fine, you post it on social media so people are aware, their next of kin knows, okay. Next, ask them and see whether they are okay, okay. Are they able to move or not? If they are able to move, help them to the side.
Yeah.
Okay, so that, and then try to calm them down, see how they are feeling, ask them how they are feeling. Are they feeling giddy? Are they feeling like they're going to throw up? Okay, so those kind of basic. Do not bombard them. Who banged you? This, that, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So check first whether the person is okay. If the person is flat, the person can't move on the road, don't try to move the person, because we are not medically trained.
Yes.
So, and the most important thing, do not forget to call the ambulance. Do not forget to call the police authorities.
Well, there you heard it from us here on Traxx FM's Midday Buzz. Health on Traxx. We're talking to Ms. Cynthia Shoba Anthony Thanaraj, a certified therapist, psychology and counseling lecturer from the Faculty of Psychology and Social Sciences, University of Cyberjaya, and we're talking about healing through flame. So if you have any questions, once again, the phone lines are open at 0322825491 or 0322824746. Alternatively, we are also live on TikTok and Facebook. So head over there at TRAXXfm OFFICIAL to cast your questions, and then we'll read it out later on. For now, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. 30 minutes past 11. Good morning, Malaysia. On to here, coming to you live from Angkasa Puri, Kuala Lumpur. We're talking about health on tracks, healing through the flames. And today in the studio, we have Cynthia Shoba Anthony Thanaraj, certified therapist, more than 10 years experience from the psychology and counseling lecturer, faculty of psychology and social sciences, University of Cyberjaya. Thank you once again for coming to the studio and gracing us with your presence. Now, of course, we are also live on Facebook and also TikTok. Just a quick hello to Najib Nawi and also says good morning. We also have, let's say, Suri Noor. Thank you very much. Good morning to you guys as well. And we're also live on Facebook at TRAXXfm OFFICIAL. Now, Miss Cynthia, how can a counselor, all right, build rapport quickly with a client experiencing a traumatic event? Now, you have been in this line for more than 10 years. How do you actually do it? How do you gain the rapport? What's the first question or what's the first thing that goes on through your mind?
The first most important thing is trust. If your client smells something which is not right, or if your client finds you fishy-wishy, then...
And it's not the perfume? Not at all?
No. Then that's the first setback.
But then again, it could be because they're already your clients, right? And we're talking about total strangers over here. But how do you even identify? How do you get that trust?
Being genuine. Being yourself, being genuine, being non-judgmental. That's very important in the counseling industry, in mental health. That means no biases, no judgment. Keep an open mind. Everyone is treated the same. Everyone are human beings. Everyone deserves a chance.
Everybody.
Everybody deserves a chance.
I see.
I mean, who are we to judge?
That's the first way of getting trust.
Yes, who are we to judge? As counselors, we are here to provide non-judgmental services to our clients. We create a safe space for them, open for them to help them and to also to guide them to be able to have a better life. Yeah, so basically, first thing is providing a safe space, which is very important. Your client must feel safe to come and see you. Not your client feels that, oh my God, if I'm coming to see the counselor, is the counselor going to think something about me, how my hair is, how I'm dressed, how I look? So all those questions shouldn't be in your client's mind. So if you succeed in providing the safe space for your client, basically that's the first step towards getting your client's trust. And do not lie to your client. That's the first, very most important thing. And do not make empty promises. Promises that you cannot keep.
Okay. So, like say, it's not even a best friend kind of situation. Not at all. It's totally different. Even higher ranking than a best friend, a therapist, isn't it?
A therapist is actually to a stranger. A stranger, how would I put the counseling relationship? Two strangers coming into one therapeutic relationship where there is trust and genuineness.
Oh, okay. Cool. Now, if next question is how can cultural sensitivity be integrated into crisis counseling? We're talking about crisis counseling over here, especially when working with clients with from diverse backgrounds. It's totally different for each individual, just like what you said. So how do you even identify these kind of situations?
First thing, don't assume, ask. If you do not know anything about the other person's cultural background, do not be ashamed, do not feel shy to ask. You can just start with a simple sentence like, please tell me more, I would like to know more, I'm interested to know more, okay, so that I can provide help to you, okay. Acknowledge and respect the differences. Do not judge the differences in any way, okay. Communication, when it comes to communication, make sure it's culturally appropriate. That means different culture, different way of addressing each other with respect, the elders. Yeah.
So do you screen your clients first before you actually meet them, or do you meet them on the spot and only then you'll start getting the information that you need to actually address the cultural issue or the backgrounds and how to actually talk to the person?
Before they come in for sessions, we have the intake session. They have to fill up the form and everything. So from the form, then the form will come to the counselor. So based on that, we'll have a look at their history, everything. And then we start off with their first session.
Wow. So basically, you know a lot of secrets then. Yes, because it's a client and therapist session. It's just like doctors as well.
Yes.
There are many things that, what do you call that? signing agreement between...
Informed consent.
Yes, consent. There we go. Next question. What role does the public play in a crisis?
Okay, public basically, I would say stay informed, okay, offer support, volunteer, and act responsibly. So that's your role when there's a crisis around. So what I noticed from the gas pipeline blast, some of them were posting comments and comments which were not relevant. I mean, blaming different parties and everything, instigating. So those people were not directly involved in the crisis, but they were instigating. So this can trigger the victims also. So yeah, so that should stop basically.
Stop instigating, yeah?
Yeah. What we want to do is we want to provide support. Support, you can ask them what do they need. Maybe support in terms of finance, support in terms of food, okay? A place to stay. I know it'll be difficult for you to take in a stranger. So food, clothes, yeah. So those kind of support. And there are some people who also go fake. Like I'm involved in the bomb blast, but they're the gas pipeline blast, but they are not actually involved in it. So they post up fake accounts asking for donation and all. So this is going to make things worse for the victims.
And that's another thing. Being responsible is kind of a big issue as well.
Yes.
Like these people who are instigating, they're not responsible towards what's happening. But thank you very much for that clarification. Even judging people online while it's happening on ground zero, it doesn't help the victims at all. And doesn't help the investigators as well.
No, it just causes more damage to the person emotionally, mentally, and it creates frustration. I mean, it has already happened. So what we can do is basically as a public, we can help them to move forward. So what does the victim need the most? How can they move forward? Okay, what are the assistance that we can provide to help them to be able to take a step a day to go through this trauma that they're going through?
Well, thank you very much, Cynthia, for that. You did mention previously on the show what you should do and things that you should take in consideration before even posing help and all that. Next question is, we're talking about crisis, of course, counseling. So how to actually build resilience during a crisis?
Stay connected. So make sure you keep connected. Support is very important, especially for the victims. This is a shout out to all the victims involved in the gas pipeline explosion. Stay connected with the people around you. Whether it's your relatives, whether are the other victims, be connected because you need to support each other. Okay? You need that support the most. Focus on what you can control. No point ruminating about what has happened. Okay? Let's look at what can we do tomorrow. How can we start the day tomorrow? Okay? Practice emotional awareness. Whatever you're feeling, acknowledge that emotions. Do not sweep it under the carpet. If you're feeling sad, it's okay to feel sad. Okay? Do not blame yourself. Some of them tend to blame themselves. Oh my God, why did I buy the house here? If only I didn't buy here. If only this didn't happen. If only. So let's not go to the if only. It has already happened.
The next question should be how to actually get over the situation.
How can I move forward? What can I do to make things better for me, for my family?
That's one thing which is productive. Is there any other questions probably they can ask themselves as opposed to what else can I do? How do we actually think positively in the situation?
Yes, so look at the glass half full instead of half empty. I know it's not easy. It is easy said than done. Everything is burnt, you have nothing. So what can I do now? Okay? So yeah, there will be some form of light that will be shining upon you. And do not feel afraid to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help in this kind of situation.
So make sure that you're not afraid of asking questions as well as asking for help. And also think positively. Think like Miss Cynthia did just mention. Think as the glass as half full, not half empty. Think positively about yourself and just move on in a situation whereby you're burdened by crisis. And another thing, is there any additional messages you'd like to share with our listeners?
We will be having our student conference. It's called MAPSA on 10th of May 2025 at Cyberjaya University. So it's open to all students and also public. If you would like to join us, Further details, you can go through our university website, University of Cyberjaya website. It's on the website.
And what can we gain from there?
There'll be student presentations on different topics in the field of psychology, early childhood, counseling, social sciences. Yeah. So for students, it'll be very knowledgeable for them. They can exchange ideas, presentations.
Wow. Okay, so once again, if you'd like to join, make sure that you join the website, University of Cyberjaya's website. Head over there to find out more about the event. Before we let you go, I just want to ask, just pick your brain, Cynthia, with regards to this therapy.
No problem.
Can people actually change? With regards to this situation, like let's say Putra Heights, simple, okay? Can people get out of the situation in terms like what you said? Also, war veterans, they get triggered. Let's say the bomb blast, right? It gets triggered. So can people actually change or evolve through the whole endeavor?
Okay, this is a very interesting question, Otto. I get this always as a mental health professional. Okay, when we talk about change, we can never force a person to change. It needs to come from the person that I want to change. I want to take this step to be a new person. I mean, we can bring the horse to the water, but we can't force it to drink it. Yeah. So same goes to people, and same goes to my clients also. I always tell them the options is on the table. I've laid out the options for you. I cannot make the decision for you. If you want to remain in this kind of dysfunctional way of living, it's up to you. But what will happen if we look back 5 years from now? Do you have a plan? Okay? Do you know what you can do? If you can't, the options are here. It's your choice. Whether you want to make the change or you don't want to make a change. If you want a better life, then you can go ahead and make a change.
There you go. It's totally up to you. The responsibility is on your shoulders. And let's say, for example, the government has given you a public library, simple analogy, a public library for everybody to access free of charge. And all you have to do to gain more knowledge and be better at what you are than everybody else is to go there and gain more knowledge and experience. So there you go. Thank you very much, Cynthia, for coming to the studio. Once again, is there any message you'd like to say to everybody listening in right now before I let you go one more time?
Okay. A shout out to all those involved in the Putra Heights gas explosion. I know it's not easy to stay strong, but do not be afraid to ask for help. Help is there. Our Malaysians are very generous. We are nice people. And if you need professional help, do seek for it. Okay? Do not feel ashamed to ask for professional help, especially counseling, because it will help you to move forward and it will help you to cope with the situation.
Wow, thank you very much, Cynthia. We're talking to Cynthia Shobha Anthony Thadaraj, certified therapist, psychology and counseling lecturer from Faculty of Psychology and Social Sciences, University of Cyberjaya. Thank you once again for coming to the studio and sharing us your thoughts and opinions on today's little topic. We're going to go for a short break, and then we have the news at the top of the hour. And when we come back, more stuff for you to actually delve into and more stories as well. So stick around for that one. For now, we have more great music lined up, like Chappelle Roan and Ariana Grande, right here on Traxx.